Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pseudos Crochet and More. This is your host Crystal. I am behind the scenes today because we have a brand new yarn that was just released on Premier Yarn's website. Also, it looks like they came out with some new colors for the Elle by Me line. So we'll look into both of those here in just a minute. As always, I do have links in the description box, so if you find any of these new yarn, new colors and brand new yarn that you want to try out, if you click on that link, it doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does help the channel, so that's a nice way of supporting the channel, and I do appreciate everybody who has used my links for Premier Yarns. It is my go-to yarn, if that's, my go-to yarn, period. If I find something else by like Yarn Inspirations, any of their lines, because they have so many, that's Red Heart, Bernat, what the heck is it? Red Heart and Bernat. There's other names it has too, different lines for different things. I will use their yarns too. It's not that I don't use anybody but Premier, but I do prefer Premier yarns over other companies. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and look at the Elle by Me first with the new colors. This is a bulky yarn. It is a 60% acrylic and 40% wool. So let's see what new colors. I know that they've had the yellow on clearance for a long time. So let's see what colors they came out with that are new. These are new solids. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 new colors. It is right now $6.99. A donut, a ball, or whatever, however you want to call this. I don't know. It's not a skein. It's not a hank. It's more of, I would say closer to a donut style wrapped yarn, but if you think that's something else, let me know what you think, how this is wrapped. Now let's go ahead and go over the details of the yarn, and then I will show you the new colors. So as I mentioned, it is 60% acrylic, 40% wool. The solids come in a 5.29 ounce or 150 gram ball. It's 196 yards or 180 meters. Multis, the multiple colors, variegated, the multicolored ones are 4.4 ounces or 125 grams, 164 yards or 150 meters. It is a number 5 bulky weight. It is machine wash cold, do not bleach, tumble dry low. Because of the wool in there, even though it's 40%, if you tumble dry on a higher setting, your chances of shrinking your project there's a higher chance of shrinking your whatever you've made. And if you wash it on hotter temperature water, you could have the possibility of actually possibly felting. Not completely, but because there's only 40%, but that's why they have you do it on with cold water. It is Ocotext certified, which means it's approved and tested for 350 plus harmful substances to keep you and your family safe. And as I've mentioned this before, I love when they do that with their yarns. Not all of their yarns have it, but when you do find it, that's a great thing. Especially if people have, certain yarns irritate their hands more so than others. All right, let's go ahead and check out these new colors. So the first one we have is indigo. That's a nice deep blue. It almost looks navy blue. Let's see. Next is martini. It's kind of a dull yellow. I could see why they would say that. And I would say dirty martini, but I don't exactly know what that looks like, because I think that's when they put the olive in there. And if you get a regular martini, or a dry martini that's not in there. I could be wrong. I don't drink those drinks, but if you do, you can let me know in the comment section. All right. And then we have mink, which is a nice shade of gray. And then we have lapis, which is nice blue, close to like an ocean blue. Not either that or an aqua. It's just a different shading of like an aqua. They call it, they labeled it as lapis. And then we have Merlot, which is a wine color, which is really nice, deep red. And then we have pine. I could see that being a pine tree. Okay. And then we have Riviera, which is, okay, this one is more of an aqua color. This looks very close to the color that I use sometimes in my tutorials. And I'll be right back because I think my daughter wants in the room. Okay. Well, she must have went and sat down because I didn't answer the door right away. That's okay. Now, this one is more, to me, like an aqua, the Riviera. And then vermilion, which is a color that's used in India for the marking on the forehead. That's what that reminds me of. This is a little bit lighter, I think, than that, but it could be my resolution on my computer, too. So those are the new colors for the Elle by Me Charolette line. And let's go ahead and go back, and we will now check out the Premier Basic DK Multi. This one right here, that one that was on the front, is banana split. My husband loves banana splits. I do too, but I really have to have enough room for that. Okay, so the first we have, this is a just came out today yarn. It is a lightweight yarn. It is currently $3.49. I mean, that's a great deal, but you can always check back to see if there's any sales on it. They do take a while for them to put new yarns on sale, which I don't blame them. The majority of their yarns are really affordable, and you don't have to pay what Yarnspiration is now charging for some of their yarn. And you get really good quality out of their yarn. I've had a few lines that I've had some issues with, but it wasn't enough to deter me from not getting that again. So let's go over the specs real quick. The details. There's 14 colors. It is 100% acrylic. It is 2.99 ounces or 85 grams, 242 meters or 264 yards. It is a lightweight number 3 or DK weight yarn. It is machine wash at 40 degrees Celsius, tumble dry. Do not use chlorine-based bleach. Dry clean using any solvent. Do not iron. So this is kind of weird on how it has 40 degrees Celsius. We're in the U.S. and they've got Celsius out here. And I know that there's a conversion rate. Let me see. What temperature? I'm thinking that's like warm water. Let's see. 40 degrees Celsius. 40 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. So, yeah, that would be warm water. It's 104 degrees on your water temperature, but I always wash my stuff that I make in cold water and dry it on the lowest heat setting that I have, which the lowest I have before just tumble dry is extra low heat. So that's what I would use, because I am always afraid if I use anything more, especially on handmade items, anything more than cold water, it's going to possibly shrink or really pill the whatever I've made, where you get those fuzz balls all over the place. This is Okotext certified. Again, that means it's been approved and tested for 350 plus harmful substances to keep you and your family safe. So, now let's go over these fabulous colors here. So, I still have it running in the background, but I was watching Creative Grandma because she got this yarn. Unfortunately, I still haven't had a privilege of getting anything ahead of time to like work with the yarn, give you guys my opinion about it. But this will be a video in the future. I cannot say when, but I will be getting some of these colors to make up something. Either it's going to be a baby blanket or a wrap or a hat or a scarf, something that won't take a whole lot of yarn to make the item. But the first color, she wasn't sure if she was pronouncing it right, and they were trying to tell her how to pronounce it in chat, and she couldn't see it, but that's okay. It's called Après. Après. Ski. So I'm guessing this is like a popular ski place, with everybody knowing how it's actually pronounced, or they typed it in Google saying, how to pronounce this word, and they gave the pronunciation to it. So this is a nice blue and brown and a little bit of white color. And then the first one you have here is how it looks if you single crocheted your project. I kind of like this because it does give a design to your whatever you're making if you're going back and forth with it. And then this is the knit version, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad. I was expecting a little bit more white in this for being ski, because ski means snow. But, you know, that's just my opinion. And then we have the other colors that you could get to go with this. So if you wanted to put some solid in there to kind of break up the multicolors, then you can coordinate it with navy, holly, topaz, and teal blue, which I'm guessing the topaz is actually what I was thinking was white, but it's not actually white. Unless they just didn't put white on here, because white goes with everything. All right. And then the next one is Icy Path, which, if you're up in the north, you know exactly what an icy patch looks like. Same thing. We're going to look at the crochet version, which has got some like really light gray, brown, and a tan color. This is what it would look like if you crocheted with it. Now, what I like is after so many rows of working the whatever you're doing, it actually kind of looks like it's going another direction. Like it goes one way zigging and then it goes another way zagging. It's got like a zigzag pattern. It doesn't line quite up to make it look like that, but that's what I got when I saw this the first time. And then we have the knit, what it would look like in knit, which is actually smaller with the knit stitch. This is the knit stitch. Than the single crochet. For some reason, that single crochet is making it look a lot taller than a single crochet actually is. Unless they did a different stitch, but normally they do single crochet to get as close as possible to a knit version of the sample. All right, and then we've got the multis. We've got mocha, light brown, sand, nimbus, and charcoal. So all of these colors are mixed into this. So any one of these you could use or get all of them and create your own icy path. Either way, great combinations of colors. All right, next is lipstick. And this is what it looks like in the skein. Wrapped up nice. This is what it looks like if you crochet with it. Single crochet, mind you, single crochet. And then this is what it would look like if you knit in just the knit stitch. And then these are the colors that would go with this. Light mauve, orchid, and petal pink. There's also black in here, I think. Doesn't have that as an option down here, but there is some black in that. You can see it. This right here is like a really dark red or black. All right, next color. Lucky! I didn't get to see this one because I was working while kind of listening to this with Creative Grandma. But so this one's got some greens, yellow, white, black. So a great color lineup for getting ready for next year for St. Patty's Day, or if you really like these colors and you're a football fan of the Green Bay Packers. I do believe that's actually really close to their colors. I know they have green and I know that they have a yellow because they're the cheeseheads. But yeah. All right. So this would be what it would look like if you single crocheted. And then, oh, sorry for the yawning. And then if you knit, this is what it would look like. And then if you want to pair it with a regular DK, basic DK, they give a lime and celery. But you can see that there's darker colors in there, the white, the black, all that. I think all those could be used as well. But these might be like the two popular colors that people may have used to pair it with. All right, and then we've got Sweet Dreams. I do like this, but I think it would be more for a girl. I mean, yes, boys can also use these colors too, but instead of putting, oh, there is blue in there. There is blue. Why does it not look like there's like any blue? There's also green. It's yellow, pink, blue, green, like a peachy color. I'm pretty sure that was peach or orange, something like that. But let's look at the way it would look if you single crocheted. And also Tunisian crochet. If you do a Tunisian simple stitch with yarns like this, you can get a nice pattern out of the yarn as well when it's like this. So it's pink, blue, this light blue. So the pink is the majority. Then we got some green, the blue, and then this orange or peachy color. We'll look at it here in a second because it's in the what you can pair it with. I would actually pair that with white. I wouldn't even try any other color. I would add white to make that pop out more. Let me know if you've gotten this far in the video, what color would you pair with this? And you can wait till I, go down to that last little block here to show you what colors they think pair with this well. All right. It was just odd to have that green in there. To me, when I look at that, it looks like a camo. And it's very weird. Just very weird. Okay, and then we have the knit version, which is very similar. Not exactly. Your colors are actually staying more in a line as opposed to blocks. But if you knit, I have nothing against knitters. I really don't. I just prefer to crochet. One hook. Don't need no 2 needles. All right, and then this is what they say you can pair it with. Daffodil, which is the yellow color, lilac, cameo rose, and sage. I would put white with this. That's just my opinion. White would make that really pop better. Or, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I think black would actually, and even if it's just a black border, I think that would make them colors be pulled out even more than, say, putting it with the colors that are here. But that's my preference. Everybody has their own preference. But, all right, let's keep going here. April showers. Let's see. So this one's got a light blue, an aqua color. It looks like a different color of yellow. There's pink. So let's see what this looks like in crochet. That's not too bad. Not too bad. The blue and the aqua color blue and the really light blue kind of look like raindrops. Like rain coming down. All right, let's see. What does it look like crochet? Knitted. That's crochet, Crystal. It's not too bad. I kind of like this version better than this one, but you change the stitch or the pattern that you're using, and it can even change on how the colors line up and all that. All right, let's see. What colors did they say for this one? Pumpkin, coral, mustard, turquoise, and mint. When I'm looking at mint on my screen, it looks more blue. But when I look at what's being recorded, it looks more green. It just looks different. And you don't know until you actually see it in person how different the colors can be. All right. Now, popsicle stand. Now, this one is very nice. This one's got a lot of primary colors in it. Very vibrant. And again, great color choices on a lot of these. I really do like how they came out with this new line with the basic DK multi. I'm really hoping, and I think a lot of people are, is that they come out with puzzle DK, because everybody loves regular puzzle, and it's a bulky yarn. And when Yarnspirations came out with their version of puzzle in a lightweight 3, people were loving that, just loving it. But now we really hope, maybe it's in the books, maybe it'll be something we see in the next few months, where they do come out with a puzzle that is either a 4-weight or a 3-weight, because not everybody wants those heavier yarns for making stuff for babies. And that's, I think, the reason that most people will be looking forward to seeing that coming from Premier. All right, let's see. So, as I said, there's yellow. This might be the mustard yellow. Looks like there's some orange, some blue, some purplish red. Let's see, what does it look like? Okay, it's a little jumbled, but it's not horrible. Again, if you change your stitch type and the pattern that you're using, could change drastically how this looks. All right, and this is the knit version. Knit version's not bad. I can see why they have the brown and the tan, and the brownish tan in there is to represent the actual popsicle stick tongue depressor that you get. Okay, and then they say you can coordinates with turquoise, raspberry, red, and yellow. Now, this one here, white would go with it too. And again, it's probably because that's kind of a given. So they help people try to figure out other colors besides like white or black that you could pair with these to bring out those colors, to make them pop a lot better. All right, Lifeguard. I really do like how Lifeguard looks in the crochet. I don't really care for it in the knit version, but because I did like at 11 o'clock my time, just a couple minutes after that, I was like, all right, I gotta go refresh Premier's website because I need to see if this is up and decide if I'm gonna do it today or wait till tomorrow when I do the weekly sales or what's gonna happen. But I really do like how this looks. The brown tan color represents the sand. The red, white, and blue represents the Lifeguard colors. And it's also kind of Americana. It's not quite because of the brown in there, but you could use that with something to make into something for that's Americana, American Pride. That's what it looks like crocheted. This is what it looks like if you knit and actually use the knit stitch and not the purl stitch. It's not bad. Kind of looks like little waves. All right. And then the pairing. Now this would put the white, well, this is cream, but it's a color of a shade of white. Powder blue, royal blue, red, light brown, and cream. Yeah. All right. Little League. You know what that means. Baseball, t-ball, softball, any of those. Any of them. So you got your red, your blue, your red, yellow, green is in here, white. So let's see what it looks like crocheted. It's not horrible. I do like how the blue kind of stays together a little bit. So that might be the longest color, because sometimes the colors in multicolored yarns are not all the same length. Some of them are shorter and some of them are longer. So it just depends on, I think this blue is going to be the longest, because you see the green here, you only get one stitch and then it changes to the next. Then you get a couple. So the blue seems like it's going to be the longest color before it changes. All right. And then the knit version, not bad. Kind of reminds me of Little League, baseball, any kind of sports, to be honest. All right. And then that coordinates with it is sand, which is another shade of white, mustard, royal blue, and burgundy. I do like that they do this for the multicolors, because you never know. It's like, okay, well, I don't want to have something that's just all these colors. What can I pair with it to either break it up or do a border with? And they've recently added this, I think within the last year or so. It's not on all of the yarn. Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. It isn't on older yarns that have been with them for a while now. It's only been added to newer lines of their yarns. So if it's something that they've had forever, they haven't updated that. Unless they have, and I just don't notice, because I don't look at those types of yarns. But all right, next up is Banana Split, my favorite one. So obviously the yellow, which I think is mustard, white, brown, pink. So the brown represents the chocolate, the pink represents the strawberry, and then you've got yellow for the banana, white for like the whipped topping. There should be some little bit of red in there for the cherry. And I guess you could say the yellow could also be for the pineapple, because you get strawberry, pineapple, chocolate, your scoops of ice cream, and your banana that's split where the ice cream goes. So they come up with some pretty good colors for this. My husband loves banana splits, but he has to be really in the mood for them too before he gets one. He just had one on Friday night after we had dinner out with my mother-in-law and her son. We came back, dropped her off, and we went out and got ice cream for the dessert. And he got a banana split. Yeah. So those are pretty cool colors. All right. And then this is how it would look if you knitted. I mean, not knitted. Crocheted. Can you tell I'm out of it? Crochet. And it does. It gives you, it kind of splits the yellow. And then you had white. There's some spots where there's white between it. There's spots where there's some pink and white. So I think that did. It looked like it started to, and I don't know if this was just a different, what they did different, but down here it's kind of like going all directions. But if you look up here, there's like yellow, yellow, pink, pink, red, and in the middle is the brown color. I don't remember what color they put in there. But it's almost like there's actually a banana split laid out right there. Except for the white, which is over here. By these two banana splits, must be the ice cream over there. Or the whipped topping. Either way, that's weird. How that lined up like that. It looks exactly like a banana split right here. Now, I don't know if it changes above that or not, but that's pretty cool. And how that actually formed what looks like a banana split there. All right, and this is what it would look like if you knitted. And then these are the colors to pair that you could coordinate with the banana split. Light brown, peach, cream, and mustard. So the mustard would be your banana and your pineapple. This would be your strawberry. Even though it's peach, it's more of a pinky peach. And then your light brown would be your chocolate syrup on top of it. All right, next, trick or treat. Now, I liked how this looked. When I was like I said, I was perusing this earlier today. And I'm like, oh, that is so cool. Finally, a Halloween. And, yeah. So let's go ahead and see. It's got green, black, orange, purple, yellow, and that's what it looks like. Halloween colors: purple, green, orange for the pumpkin, yellow. Looks like yellow might be the longest color in this one. Well, oh my gosh, looking at it. I'm so sorry. I need to stop doing that. Just looking at it this way, I would just leave it this way. I would just do single crochet. I wouldn't change a thing about this one. Now, if you're a knitter, this would be, if you knit and did the knit stitch, this is what this color trick or treat would look like. And then we have the colors to go with it. Orange, black, purple, mustard. But there's other colors in there too. Okay, we're almost done. So you can stop hearing me yawn if you've made it this far. The next one is hayride. Hayride, hayride. So we got some browns, some blue, some purple, some pink or peach. Oh, we got some cream or off-white. This is what that looks like worked up in crochet. The brown would represent the wagon for the hayride. And then this color here would represent the hay. In my opinion, the lighter color. And then you've got fall colors in here, orange and all that. I don't know about this blue and purple, but it is what it is. All right. And then this is what it would look like if you knit. And then this would be what it would look like. Oh, that's... Here's the coordinating with holly, orange, brown, black, and daffodil. So daffodil was the one that I wasn't sure. It kind of looked like an off-white, but all right. Yuletide. Now see, I liked how this looks in the crochet version. Not everybody would like this, but I do. So this is what it looks like crocheted. You've got your green, your red, like a pink, a light pink, and maybe an off-white. But it doesn't, it looks like it takes a while, but then it starts stacking up on on each other. It's kind of offset, but it's close enough to be an actual column. And I kind of like that. Not that, you know, I wouldn't try other stitches with this one, other patterns, but I liked this. This reminds me of like a tree growing. This here would be like a fire pit. And in between, I don't know, because it's like a weird greenish color with like a pink. I'm not sure about that part, but I don't think it's horrible. All right, and then, oh, I'm sorry, forgot to show you the knit version. This really does look like a Christmas blanket this way, instead of with the crochet. The knit version does make it look more Christmassy or, you know, festive type yarn. All right, now let's see what coordinates with it. Fern, parchment, red, and burgundy. And our last one is Nightlife. Nightlife. I think they took some of the neon colors that they used for the regular basic worsted and mixed it in with the for a DK weight, because a lot of these colors look very familiar. Yeah. Let's see, what does it look like here? I would have to do my electric slide blanket with this one just to see how it would work up, because that's what it reminds me of with the coloring. Now, they're not all the same, but that green is very close, and this blue is very close to the colors that come in the basic neon worsted colors. And I think even that purple, because there is a purple. I'm not so sure about the red. I don't think there is a red. There wasn't a red. It was purple. Yeah, there's some colors that aren't in here that were in the neon line. Those are all just one color, though. But that looks really cool. All right, and then this is what it would look like if you knit. And then let's go ahead and see. So black and purple. So for this one, I would actually probably use white instead of black. I used black and white, so I guess you could use both. I don't think I would use the purple unless it was part of the border, but I wouldn't use it to break up the coloring. That's just my thought. All right, well, now that I've yapped and yapped for about 40 minutes here, if you're looking to get this yarn, go ahead and use one of the links in the description box below. It does not cost you anything extra. If you purchase anything, what I earn from that will go back into the channel. So it's not money, you know, not going to cost you any more than $3.49 a skein for the colors that you want to try out. And again, I will be looking into getting some of these colors. I'm not sure yet which ones. I really like the banana split. And I really like the Sweet Dreams one. Let me know in the comment section which ones are your favorite. Which ones are you going to try out? Yeah. And if you like today's video, please give me a thumbs up. If you like my content and haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe and then the notification bell so you're always aware of when I put out new content. Until next time, I hope you all stay safe, stay warm or cool, and happy crocheting. Bye-bye.